All right, so Friday night, news broke that Anthony Joshua next fight is a done deal against Francis Ngannou March the 8th. We're already hearing about fighters reported to be on the undercard, like Zhilei Zhang, Deontay Wilder, and I'm sure more will come to the fore as the probably they're quick. So probably in the next week we'll hear more names. I mean, the rumor mill is that the press conference is going to be in London at the end of this month, and they'll not well for they reckon they had the full didn't have everybody there, but we knew the full card at the press conference. They didn't have the likes of Frank Sanchez and all there, but we knew they'd be on the card. So that card came around fairly quick, and this one seems to be coming around fairly quick. It does have me a little bit on the worried side though, because this card is penciled in for March the 8th, which is roughly, I mean, it's what, I think it's the 6th today, 6th of January. So March the 8th is basically 2 months away. So we're already having the undercard start to take shape. Fury versus Usyk is February 17th. It's 5-6 weeks away. It's not long. We've heard radio silence about that undercard. I mean, we have literally heard nothing. And I was actually I think it was in the Wilder Zhang video I did. I even mentioned that. And it got me thinking, I was like, oh damn, yeah, we actually haven't. Because I mentioned it because I knew that was the case. But I was thinking more after. I was like, that's not normally a good sign, especially when it's in Saudi, because they normally tend to get the undercards announced pretty damn quick. Or certainly you hear rumours, such and such is going to be on, such and such is this, such and such is that. And you're not hearing anything. And all the names, I say all the names, but the fact that Warren and Hearn are working a lot more closely together, you're thinking, okay, could we see this person, that person? And you're kind of thinking like, oh, would they be on the other card? Would they be on the March the 8th card instead? I think Warren mentioned Parker about a week or so ago, potentially in March or something like that. So you're thinking like all these potential names are being linked with that March date. Who is going to be on the undercard of Fury Usyk? And I went on to BoxRec just to see. I was like, maybe there's been an announcement or two there, and I just haven't seen it. Of course, BoxRec, it's not always 100%, but currently that fight isn't even on BoxRec. It's not even listed, Fury Usyk. Now, that doesn't mean it's not happening, right? BoxRec, throughout the course of, I don't know how long BoxRec has been going, but I've been using it now for about a decade. They've listed fights that haven't happened. I think at one stage they had Amir Khan down to fight Floyd Mayweather. Now, this was years ago on BoxRec. Obviously, that fight never happened. And there have been times where a fight, even up until fight week, they haven't listed on BoxRec. I mean, look, Fury and Ngannou. I mean, that whole card wasn't on BoxRec up until I think about fight week. I think that stemmed from the fact that they didn't really know who was going to sanction it. Obviously, the Responsible Border Control did in the end, so they were able to finish their page for the event. But they didn't have that on BoxRec up until about, I think, a couple of days before the fight. So just because it's not on BoxRec, it's not a indication for sure that, the fight's not going to happen or anything like that. It's not gospel, certainly not. But it is a bit of a worry. I know some people could say, gee, to be fair, and to be fair, if someone came at me and said this, I'd say it's a valid point, that the main event is such a big main event that does the undercard really matter? Obviously it does matter, but are they really going to go all stops out to just try and get the best undercard? And, a good point. When Joshua fought Vladimir Klitschko, that was a very small and really weak undercard. I think they had Katie Taylor on it. They had some prospect who lost. I think that was the very first fight of the card. They had Luke Campbell versus did he fight Dallas Perez? I think he fought on that card. And then they had Scott Quigg against, I know the guy, he's a fringe contender, he was. I think Shakur Stevenson knocked him out in a round a couple of years ago. Can't remember his name. But he fought him in the co-main. That was it. It was a really weak, dull undercard, but no one cared because all the people were looking for was the main event. Something similar with Fury when he fought Dillian White. That undercard was very poor. There was some good fights on it, like Isaac Lowe, Nicky Ball. That was a really good fight, but for the most part, that undercard was fairly dull. And then you look at the Chisora card, the Chisora, I was going to say 4 there, no, God forbid, the Chisora 3 card. You had Daniel Dubois in the co-main, that was a decent fight. I can't really remember who else fought on that card, to be fair. But the undercards haven't been amazing, but at least we've known in advance who's going to be on it, and they've tried to get the ball rolling. This one doesn't. Now, that's not an indication that the fight's doomed, or that it's not going to happen, or anything like that. For me, I've wanted this fight so bad. I want to see Undisputed. I want to see it at heavyweight. So I am not even gonna. As far as I'm concerned, this fight's happening. As far as I'm concerned, this fight is happening. The undercard, as important as it is, I've no doubt that it will get announced. It's just a case of please do it sooner rather than later to put everyone's mind at ease, because it is strange that we're already hearing about a card that's going to happen after Fury Usyk. We're already hearing about the card already taking shape, that the undercard, this person's going to be on the undercard, that person is, this person's rumoured, etc. And with Fury Usyk, which is the bigger fight, it's got more on the line, it's got more everything, we're still not hearing really anything about the undercard, which is a worry. And as I said, you can't even go on, even if you go onto Fury's Wikipedia or Usyk's Wikipedia, they have their pro record, and they normally do put their next pro fight, if it's been announced and it's a big fight, on the Wikipedia, you know, pending result, you know, Fury Usyk pending result. They don't have the win or the loss, but they don't even have that. And yeah, it's a bit of a worry. I'm not gonna lie, it is a little bit of a worry that they haven't done the undercard or announced it yet. Again, you know, I'm gonna upload this video on a Sunday morning, because it's a Saturday night time recording this. I'm gonna upload this video Sunday morning. Wait and you see, Monday they'll have Martin Bacoli versus whoever. They'll have Moses Atelma versus whoever. They'll have this person fighting. Wait and you see. I'll do that video, and then Monday morning we'll have an announcement. But it is a worry. It is a worry that fight is coming up quicker than you think. You know, it's coming up quicker than you think, and we don't have any concrete undercard. And there are cards in Saudi that are taking shape to happen later on, you know, obviously a couple of weeks later, and we're already hearing about this could be the main event. This guy's going to be on the undercard. He might fight this guy. There might be this guy, and you're like, okay, that's good, but why aren't we hearing about the Fury Usyk undercard? At the end of the day, right, those Saudi undercards, they do, even look Joshua Usyk, the rematch, that was a good undercard. The Joshua Ruiz rematch was a good undercard. You do hear about it normally pretty early, but saying that, you do see some fights announced very late. You know, on the Joshua Ruiz card, I think it was Dylan White versus Marius Wack. That was only announced like a fortnight, if even, but roundabout, it was really quick announcement on that fight. Obviously, Dylan White had his own issues that were going on behind the scenes, but it was a real quick announcement. So there can be fights with names, and they're just, there you go, on the undercard. Let's see. But it's a bit of a worry. Not gonna lie, it is a little bit of it. There is that, what might happen. Let me know your thoughts in the comments. If you weren't worried now, has this video made you worried? I hope not. But it is something to think about. Let me know in the comments. Hope you enjoyed it, people. Smash the like button if you could. Subscribe, of course, if you haven't already. Let's get to 16 and onwards 20. Boom. Peace.